Hello Internet, the American gentleman here, back with another video of 21 gamer murders. In this video we will show you how dangerous it is to be a gamer, and how death is lurking around every corner. If you are into games, you better be very careful and stick around for this video, so you can learn how to avoid these tragedies. So grab some popcorn, bunch of crunch, and your favorite drink, because it's about to get crazy. So let's get right in. Question: do you like games? Not these kind of games. These games. And these games. And even these games. If your answer was yes, then stop immediately, because you are about to die. This video will save your life. You can thank me later. The gaming community has been very dangerous since the very beginning. In 1981, Jeff Daly racked up 16,000 points on the popular video game Berserk, and when he did, he immediately dropped dead of a heart attack, signaling the beginning of the end. Do you already have a console? Sometimes the most dangerous part about gaming is acquiring the system itself. Just ask 28-year-old mother Jennifer Strange, who took part in a 2007 Sacramento radio contest called Hold Your Wii for a Wii, where she began to chug back 2 gallons of water, eventually dying from water intoxication. She never even got to play the game. Now that your gaming console is home, you should immediately start helping your friends rack up points, right? Wrong. You will die. Just ask one Shanghai man who was playing Legends of Mer 3. According to China Daily, the 41-year-old had a rare item that he let his friend borrow because it would help him gain points fast. When the man received this illustrious dragon saber, instead of using it to gain points, he took it and sold it online for $800. One day the man asked for the dragon saber back. He became suspicious when the man could not produce the item. Eventually, the man came clean, told him what he had done, and offered him the $800 back. But the Shanghai man was furious and wanted justice, so he tried to take the man to court. The man soon found out that there are no laws in China to protect virtual items. So the man knew if he ever wanted his payback, he had to get it back in blood. So that's exactly what he did, when he stabbed the 41-year-old, killing him dead. Now the Chinese gamer is spending life in prison and will most likely never get to play Legends of Mer 3 again. Do you have brothers or sisters? Then playing games on your console might seem like the ultimate bonding experience, but stop right now, because you are going to die. Meet this 12-year-old San Francisco boy, who only thing he wanted to do was play win-back with his 8-year-old brother. They loved playing the game so much, but one day when they didn't have the game around, they decided to play it in real life. And in 2001, this deadly game of win-back ended with the 12-year-old shooting the 8-year-old with a .25 caliber semi-automatic rifle. Does your significant other love to play video games? More specifically, Mortal Kombat? If so, call the cops, because you are about to die. Meet Lamar Roberts of Colorado. Back in 2007, him and his girlfriend Heather were babysitting her 7-year-old sister. That's when Lamar decided he wanted to play Mortal Kombat, but in real life, with a 7-year-old. That ended exactly how you thought it would. In murder! The child suffered massive blunt force trauma of the brain and the central nervous system, and tried to blame the incident on alcohol. So now that you've been playing some games online, you've developed some friends, and now they want to come over and play. Run, because you are about to die. Meet Brett Bedner. He was playing games online with a Louis Dames, who invited him over to his house for the weekend. Breck went over to Dane's apartment in Grays, Essex. Brett had talked to Louis online frequently, but they have never met in person until now. Brett was then stabbed in the neck by Lewis. Lewis waited a full day before he called the police and told the police he had to kill him in self-defense. Currently, Lewis is spending life in prison for his crimes. Now what if Keemstar himself asked you to come play a round of Call of Duty with him? Run like hell. The last time someone played with Keemstar, he ended up doxing another player and telling his whole stream to swat him. Eventually this man, Tyler Barrias, took Keemstar's words seriously and sent a SWAT team right over to the Kansas man. This event ended with the SWAT team breaking into the man's house and shooting him dead. Wow, way to go, Keem. Now what if Blizzard, the makers of World of Warcraft, call you up and say, hey, let's play some games. Block their call immediately and change your number because you are about to die. This team confessed all his murders on World of Warcraft. This group of gamers tracked down a quadruple murder suspect. He wanted to send everyone pictures of his slaughtered family. Just don't get drunk gaming, because you might wake up touched by an angel. Even Pokémon is speaking out, whoever that is. There's plenty of time to play World of Warcraft. That is, when you're not having to grind out in the streets to figure out how to pay for it. Because subscriptions don't run on hopes and dreams. And it takes a lot of money to have an active WoW account. Just ask this 13-year-old Vietnamese kid. His parents quit paying for his subscription. So out of fear of losing his account, this man started fiending out and decided to take the matter into his own hands. The kid quickly masked up, hit the streets, and found his victim, an 81-year-old lady. He quickly robbed the 81-year-old for everything she had, then he ended up shooting her, ending her life over $7, which still wasn't enough for the subscription. Do you have a best friend you talk to every day, and all of a sudden they want to come over and play video games? Lock your door, turn off the lights, cause they are taking you straight to hell. Just ask this Clark County man who fatally shot his friend of 26 years, all over Diablo 3. Maybe by now you're spending way too much time playing video games, and your mom has had enough. She has taken your game and you cannot play it for a full week. What do you do? Well, this kid, much like the last one, started fiending out. With no gamer drugs in his system, he had no place to turn. If this happens to you, go to rehab now. This kid didn't, and ended up trying to rape his mom and then killing her over Call of Duty. This kid is now serving a 50-year-long prison sentence, which some are trying to overturn because of how young he was during the offense. But what about Halo 3? Maybe that's your jam. Well, it was this man's jam, and just like the last, his parents took his game away. When he was 11 years old, his parents bought him a .22 rifle. The gun stayed locked away in the gun cabinet. But when his parents confiscated his game, they put that in the gun cabinet too. So in a moment of weakness, he started fiending out bad. He found the key to the gun safe, unlocked it, and took back his video game. But in the process, he grabbed the gun. Then the kid proceeded to go up to his parents and say, "Can you do me a favor? I need you to cover your eyes. I have a surprise for you." And so they did what the boy said, and before they could open their eyes, he had shot them both. Now their bodies were laid in the floor, so they couldn't tell him not to play. He eagerly went to his Xbox and began to turn the system on. At that point, he received a knock on the door. He had forgot his parents had invited their friends over. He immediately rushed to the door. His parents' friends wanted to come on in and wanted to know where his parents were. He said that his parents were fighting and did not want to have any company right now. When all of a sudden, they heard the groans of his father who had survived the brutal gun attack. They began to call the police, and as they did, the little boy ran out the house and stole the vehicle, game in hand. When they finally pulled the boy over, they found him with the video game sitting in the passenger seat. The little boy never got to play Halo 3 again. What about kids? Do you have any crying kids? Well, you better get your ass up and feed them right now. If not, you will die. Meet this man who was looking after his girlfriend's daughter. When he couldn't get her to behave, he decided it was appropriate to beat her with the Xbox controller, killing the child in the process. Now that you've been gaming for a while, maybe you've decided your girlfriend is getting in the way of your gaming, and that you can play more games if you had more time, and you can have more time if you were single. So if you're about to break up with your girlfriend, stop right now, because you will be lying in chalk. Meet Melanie M. Her boyfriend broke up with her via a gaming app. The last thing the man said to his sister is that the breakup is going to hurt a lot. Little did he know how right he was. The man was murdered in cold blood. Does someone have a crush on you online? Do you feel like someone is in love with you? Well, you better pack up and move away now, because they are coming to kill. Meet Ingrid De Silva, a Brazilian teen who loved to play Call of Duty Mobile. She invited over Alves Costa, who would be the last face she ever saw. I guess he wanted to wear a mask to protect her from COVID. Maybe recently you've been into MMORPG LGBTQ, and you've discovered a game called Lineage 2, and the only friends that want to play with you are in Russia. So you moved to Russia to play the game. Little do you know you're going to die there. That's what happened to Albert. There was two warring factions in the game, the Platinums and the Ku Klux Klan. Albert was playing on his team when members of the Warren faction decided to kill players of his team. That led to him viciously arguing with another man. Both people couldn't decide whose was bigger from that far away, so they decided to meet in person. When they met up, the two men started arguing, and the confrontation quickly escalated into physical violence. That is when the other man beat the shit out of Albert, killing him dead from Russia with love. Maybe you're into Grand Theft Auto and just want to cause chaos. We'll stop right there, because Grand Theft Auto will make you go on a crime spree in real life. Meet this Alabama teen, Devin Moore, who was at the police station one day being booked for suspicion of Grand Theft Auto. And when one of the officers looked away for just a second, the Alabama teen grabbed the gun and fired it, killing two officers and one dispatcher. After the murders, he stole their cop car and sped away. They finally caught up with the teen, giving him 3 charges of first-degree murder. He was sentenced to death by lethal injection. So now you're good at gaming, you want to be a streamer. But pick another occupation, because that one has a 100% chance of death. This Twitch streamer committed suicide at the young age of 21. And finally, in 2005, this 13-year-old jumped off of a 24-story building. He left a suicide note, and it says, "I'm going away to be with the heroes of Azeroth. Don't be a hero. I want to see you live." Hopefully with this comprehensive guide of past events, this will give you enough information to stay alive throughout your gaming career when you're not dying of blood clot. Please like, subscribe, and comment down below.